When you take something away, there's going to be individuals, there's going to be hackers, there's going to be reverse engineers, there's going to be people that are interested, that basically have motivation to come in and try to restore the functionality that you took away. Xbox UWP emulators running on retail Xboxes is back. That's right, this is not a drill. I've tested it out myself and it's working as expected. This was not something that Microsoft had done to reverse any decision that they had made previously. This is a new discovery. Now, this particular news came over the weekend, and I did want to cover it because I know there are a lot of people out there who are very disappointed when Microsoft did disable specific UWP apps running on retail mode. Of course, there was and still is always the option to use developer mode, and that's personally the way that I run my UWP apps, but I do know a lot of people prefer to use retail mode. Now, with that all said, let's go over how all this works in its current form after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. With internet privacy being such a huge deal these days, it's more important now than ever to protect yourself. With Surfshark VPN, you can easily hide your IP address and encrypt all data that you send and receive. You can easily switch regions to other countries in the world. This means not only your true IP address and identity is masked, it also means you can get around any annoying geolocation locked video content. You know, the ones that say, this video isn't supported in your country? This can get annoying for me when I want to watch local Aussie news. With Surfshark VPN, I can switch my country to Australia and this problem simply goes away. Surfshark VPN also allows you to connect to unlimited devices simultaneously on a single account, and this includes Windows devices, Linux, Android, iOS, Amazon Fire TV, and much more. To get an exclusive Surfshark deal, enter promo code MVG for an extra 3 months free at surfshark.deals/MVG. And if you think it sucks, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, which will give you plenty of time to try out Surfshark VPN risk-free. Now, first of all, this work has been done by Sir Mangler and a team of devs who go by a group known as the UWP store. Now, you may recall that Sir Mangler and some other developers worked on some UWP emulators for Xenia, Dolphin, and XBSX. These are Xbox 360, GameCube and Wii, and PlayStation 2 emulators, respectively. Now, it's hard to say why Microsoft decided to block the usage of UWP emulators on retail, but there was some talk that it was most likely Xenia, the Xbox 360 emulator, that was the culprit. We're talking about something that kind of was flying a little too close to the sun, if you will. Now, of course, this was something that was never verified, but the timing seems to be along with that specific emulator. Now, in the past, getting your emulators to run in retail mode required your email account that's tied to your Xbox to be put on what's known as an allow list. And then you would have to wait for that email address to get approved. In the past, you'd normally have to join a Discord server, send them your email address, and then kind of wait for a duration of time to get approved. And at that point, you'd log into a website on your retail Xbox signed into that account, and then you could download various UWP emulators from the Microsoft Store in retail mode. And for all intents and purposes, this took advantage of some loopholes in how Microsoft handles applications on their store to work. Now, this new method is exactly the same. The group has set up a Patreon that will allow you to get retail access. I believe it's $2 a month for paying for it. But let's be very clear here. Getting retail access does not mean that your existing UWP apps will run again, because they won't. However, the group has provided updated uploads that will take advantage of this new method to get retail UWP access. Now, what exactly is this new method? Well, of course, that's not something that the team is willing to disclose, as there is a chance that Microsoft could easily block this in the same way as previously. However, from what I've been told, the basic understanding of this is that the team completely rewrote the app manifest and removed a lot of elements that were identifiable by existing detection systems. The emulators were also packaged into one download in the store, which makes not only uploading this a lot easier, but it also makes it a little more harder to detect. That's what I'm told. Now, I verified this myself by attempting to download the app from the store, and it pulls down a specific app known as a root app that bundles all the existing UWP emulators in it and installs them on your Xbox. And as of right now, there is Xenia, Dolphin, XBSX, and RetroArch. Now, I was able to launch and test each of these emulators on retail, and they all run perfectly. And of course, as mentioned as a quick side note, any existing apps I mentioned previously won't start with the same error as before. So you have to basically follow these new steps. Now, I did talk to Sir Mangler in some detail about the concern that this approach would be detected and blocked. And of course, there's always that potential that this could happen. Microsoft and the group could easily get into a game of cat and mouse or whack-a-mole to keep the UWP apps off retail. But for now, this method seems to be a lot more sophisticated and a lot more harder to detect. Now, of course, if you want to test this out for yourself, I will leave a link to Sir Mangler's or the UWP store Patreon down below, and feel free to get signed up if this is something that is interesting to you. Now, I also did want to mention that I have no affiliation with this group other than I was sent a DM by one of the developers on that team that kind of informed me about what was going on, but I did want to test this out for myself. Now, Sir Mangler does inform me that developer mode users still come first, and what that means is that he will not be locking any builds of existing emulators that are being currently worked, including anything that's new that we don't know about yet. Those things will be available on dev mode first. They're open source. None of those things will be locked behind a paywall. The only thing that they're looking at doing, as we've talked about, is providing retail access for a small fee. This, of course, is something that some people may or may not like, but that's just kind of the way things are. But if you are someone that still likes UWP access and you're okay with developer mode, I have been reassured that not only will nothing change on that side, you'll still get first dibs on all developer mode stuff that comes out from the particular team. I think this group essentially is really just all about ensuring that their emulators that they're developing and any other emulators that ran under UWP can come back on a retail Xbox. But anything that's currently in active development or existing emulators that they're currently working on, those things will continue to happen, and they can always be run under developer mode as long as Microsoft continues to have developer mode access for their Xbox line of consoles, of course. So this is a really exciting news announcement, and to be honest with you, I was actually working on another video this weekend, which will just get bumped to next week, but I wanted to take a moment to really just kind of give you guys an update on this, because this is definitely great news. Now, how long is this going to last for? Well, we'll see. I think Sir Mangler and his group have a lot of good ideas about trying to get these apps running on retail and keeping them there. But of course, it's Microsoft. We don't know what they're planning on doing, if anything, in response to all this. So we'll just have to wait and see. But very exciting news. I will leave links to all relevant things in the description below. Check it out if you are interested. I do know there are a lot of people that are already using this. I've got a lot of DMs from people saying it's back, it's working really well. So if you are someone that was kind of disappointed that retail mode was kind of taken away for UWP, then you may want to check this out. But for now, we are going to leave it here for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.